ISRO has made history by launching the heaviest satellite from Indian soil in an Indian launcher. Hello students, welcome to Drishti IAS. In today's session, let us break down the details of this launch which made India proud. Let's get started. But before we do that, let me just quickly tell you that there is this new launch, the Studio GS Foundation live online course, which is going to help you with your UPSC preparation. The complete prelims and main syllabus for UPSC is going to be covered in only rupees 24,999. And that is not all. If in the future you wish to join our offline foundation batch, this complete fee is going to be adjusted in the fees of our offline foundation batch. So hurry, as the admissions are already open. This is going to be practically a completely free course for all the students who wish to join our offline foundation batch in future. So for more information, please call us at 87501 87501. And you can also download the Drishti Learning app. Now let's get back to our topic. So this launch, the LV-M3 M6 mission, has basically placed the Bluebird-Block 2 satellite into its intended orbit. Now let's break down everything over here. LV-M3 M6 mission, Launch Vehicle Mark III 6th mission. This launch vehicle, if you recall, is the same launch vehicle which has also been nicknamed as Bahubali, because this is the heaviest launch vehicle of India, and this is the 6th mission of this launch vehicle. Before this, it has also conducted some successful missions like Chandrayaan-2, Chandrayaan-3, the OneWeb space mission where 72 satellites were placed into the Earth's orbit, and in future it is also going to be used for our Gaganyaan mission. And the most recent mission, the M5 mission, M5 mission also becomes important for us because very recently, this happened in November itself, very recently the LV-M3 actually placed CMS-03, Communication Satellite 03 into the Earth's orbit. So M5 is also important and M6 is also important because in M6 we have placed the Bluebird-Block 2 satellite into its intended orbit. What is the intended orbit over here? The low Earth orbit. Now this launch is historic for two major reasons. First is that this was the heaviest satellite that was launched from an Indian launcher, and two is that the satellite in itself is very important. We'll talk about the details also, but before that, please understand that this was a commercial launch. It was a commercial launch because this Bluebird-Block 2 communication satellite is of AST Space Mobile, which belongs to the USA, and an agreement was signed between AST Space Mobile and NSIL, which is New Space India Limited. And what is NSIL? The commercial arm of ISRO. So an agreement was signed between NSIL and this AST Space Mobile of USA. Under this agreement, the Bluebird-Block 2 space satellite was launched and it was placed into the low Earth orbit. Now let's understand the significance of everything over here. The first important point is that this was the heaviest satellite launched. LV-M3 is capable of launching payloads of up to 8 tons, approximately 8 tons. And this Bluebird-Block 2 satellite weighed somewhere around 6 tons. And this was the heaviest satellite that has been launched so far from Indian soil in an Indian launcher. If I talk a little bit about the specifics of this launch vehicle over here, then this is extremely important because this is a 3-stage launch vehicle. First stage is the solid strap-on motors. After solid, we have the liquid stage, the liquid core stage, and the most important stage, which basically stands out over here, is the cryogenic upper stage. So this launch vehicle is the heaviest launch vehicle of India, and it is capable of carrying very heavy payloads to the Earth's orbit. And now, first reason was this, that is the heaviest satellite, and the second reason is about the Bluebird space satellite. Now this satellite is important because it aims at providing a direct to cell connectivity. Direct to cell connectivity. What do you understand by this? Now right now what happens that our phones, our smartphones, they are connected with mobile towers, correct? Mobile towers on ground, and through these towers we can access the internet. Now what is going to happen? This satellite basically aims at connecting our ordinary smartphones directly to satellites so that we don't have to depend on ground mobile towers for connectivity. So our phones are going to be connected directly to the satellites, and in turn we are going to get our connectivity. 4G, 5G services, voice call, etc., video call, all these services are going to be provided as our ordinary smartphones are going to be connected directly to satellites. And what is the significance of this thing? The significance here is that we are no longer dependent on this ground infrastructure over here, because many a times it is not actually possible to keep building these mobile towers everywhere in remote areas, in rural areas where the terrain is difficult. Let's say there are mountains, there are forests, there are oceans, or disaster prone areas, or any war zones, sensitive areas where it is difficult to construct these ground mobile towers. There we get a lack of connectivity because we are not building proper infrastructure. Now we are going to reduce our dependency on this infrastructure, and we will be directly connected, like our smartphones will be directly connected to satellites. So it is going to be especially beneficial in these cases where we have rural areas and remote areas. Particularly we will be able to give last mile connectivity to all these areas. A proper digital inclusion can happen over here, because we are no longer dependent on what? We are no longer dependent on the ground infrastructure, our ground mobile networks, ground mobile towers. So this satellite in itself is very, very important, and this Bluebird-Block 2 satellite is a part of a global constellation of satellites, global constellation of communication satellites, which are going to be placed to the low Earth orbit so that all our smartphones can be directly connected to satellites and we are no longer dependent on ground mobile towers. That is why this launch was extremely significant and historic, because A, this was the heaviest satellite launch from India, and B, the satellite in itself is providing something that is very extraordinary. It is giving us direct to cell connectivity. So that was all for this video. I hope you were able to understand everything that we discussed over here, because steps like these or launching things like these, such launches are basically going to improve our credibility in the global space sector, and this was a commercial launch, so we are also providing a boost to our space economy. Now let us look at a practice question for prelims. Question: with reference to the LVM-3 M6 mission and the Bluebird-Block 2 satellite, consider the following statements. 1. LVM-3, nicknamed Bahubali, is India's heaviest launch vehicle and is also used for the Gaganyaan human spaceflight mission. 2. Bluebird-Block 2 is a geostationary satellite designed to provide secure communication exclusively for India's armed forces. 3. Direct-to-cell satellite technology enables ordinary smartphones to connect directly with satellites without using terrestrial mobile towers. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. 1 and 2 only, or D. 1 and 3 only. Please attempt this question and provide your answers in the comment section. Thank you for watching.
Introducing Drishti IAS Everyday Wear, the casual jacket and the polo neck t-shirt, perfect for everyday and casual wear. Shop now on the Drishti Learning app and Flipkart. Buy link in the description.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.